Hey everyone, welcome to From the Depths. I'm Menti and this is episode 11 of the Cruiser Clash Tournament, featuring my entry, the Puddle Strider, versus Task Force Danalite by Breakthrough. If you'd like to learn more about these crafts, I do overview videos on every ship in this tournament, and those can be found in the playlist linked in the description. For now, we're here for the explosions, we're here for the devastation, we're here to see ships get killed, so let's get right to it. So, both ships opening up with missiles. Looks like some of the Puddle Strider's missiles dipped into the water there. None of the cram cannons from Task Force Danalite have fired yet. The missile strike is coming in. They're being shot at by the anti-missile cannons, but they were not able to stop all of the strikes, it does not seem. Oh, there goes some cram shots. And at that range, they might actually be able to hit... Oh, no, they detonated prematurely. Is that missile going to be able to connect? Yes, it did, and it took out a couple of thrusters. That'll slow the Puddle Strider down and possibly make it able to be hit more easily. Some missiles going off in the distance there, going off into nowhere. The Puddle Strider's circling around. Task Force Danalite at 98 and 98%. Or 99% now. They're healing up, but they have taken a little bit of damage. Likely from the missile strike. Maybe some damage from the heat shells, the inertially fused heat shells impacting against the shields. Got that fantail of missiles going off. The Puddle Strider staying in range, doing its thing, launching its missiles. The anti-missile cannons just do not seem to be enough to stop that swarm, and I'm not even sure that they're operating on this side. They look like they are over here. They look like they might actually be glitched and stuck at just pointing straight up in the air. Might be aiming at some flares launched by the Puddle Strider there. Got some cram shells coming in. Like Puddle Strider unable to connect. Puddle Strider has healed itself back up. Has it gotten those thrusters back online? Yep, it has. So it is moving at full speed again, making those cram shots much more difficult to land. Damage report. We got the Danalite down to 91%, the Danalite at 96%, Puddle Strider at 100%. Got more cram shells coming in, but the Puddle Strider is already turning, so those are going to miss. The missile strike's going in, homing in. The missile strikes seem to be splitting up between both ships through the infrared seeking. This ship seems to be dead in the water. Its propellers are not spinning. It may have lost its AI card. Oh, we might have a collision here. Oh, nope. I think that's the Danalite. Is this one? I can't. Yes, it is. It was able to make that turn. They are still taking damage. The Puddle Strider seems to be faring very well against the attacks of its opponents. This craft seems completely dead in the water. It is not AI dead, but it is no longer functioning, leaving its partner to face the Puddle Strider alone. And those missile strikes are coming in, peppering it with frags and EMP damage. Not doing a whole lot, but doing it consistently. While the Puddle Strider's cannons pound away. It's possible that the heat rounds, or maybe the EMP... Well, the EMP wouldn't do, but it's possible that the heat rounds disabled the engines on that craft, and it is no longer able to fight properly because of that. But, oh, that was a hit, but does not seem to have done much of anything, if anything at all, to the Puddle Strider. Maybe knocked off some armor blocks. Doesn't look like it, just damaged them, weakened them a bit, but the armor and shielding held up for that strike. More missiles coming in, dealing their damage. And it seems the Danalite is AI dead. I'm not sure which one that is. Or no, it has one AI left, which is this one right here. It has one AI left. Things are not looking good for the Task Force Danalite here. This is looking like it's going to be a win for the Puddle Strider. It is. I'm not sure if it's a good thing that its missile strikes are splitting up, or a bad thing. Probably a good thing, given that, ooh, a couple of cram shells hitting there. A couple blocks fell off, probably not even not even a percent damage. The Puddle Strider taking those hits just fine. The Task Force Danalite does seem to be occasionally landing a few cram shells when the Puddle Strider gets close, but its armor and shielding are thus far holding up. But as I was saying, I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing that those missile strikes keep splitting like that. It's probably a good thing since they have managed to disable both of the craft at relatively the same time. But it probably could have disabled one of them faster if it had focus fired. But what can you do? Infrared Seekers are going to do what Infrared Seekers want. They don't really care. They're just going to go and attack whatever the hell they feel like. Most of the time, that whatever they feel like will be a flare. I mean, let's face it. That's what infrared do. Many of those missiles made that turn, but a couple of them didn't manage to make it, flying off into the distance. Many of those strikes going in. Yeah, it is slowly. It's actually kind of interesting how the Puddle Strider is whittling both ships down almost identically in like it's spreading its damage out between the both of them, and it's seeming enough to keep them both down, but that is definitely a dangerous thing if a ship has high repair capabilities. Like at this time, if the other ship over there, which is the Danalite, it's impossible to keep track of which one's which. They're exactly identical. Like with all of its fire focused on this ship right here, if that one had good repair capabilities, it could very well heal itself quite a lot, while the Puddle Strider is focused over here. And then if the Puddle Strider then changes its attention back over there, then this one can heal like that. Against a ship with heavy repair capabilities, that could prove to be quite a problem. But for these, they don't seem to have enough repairs to get through the DPS of the... What the heck? There we go. Through the DPS of the Puddle Strider, even with it splitting up its damage. Yep, the Danabrite is officially AI dead and has despawned, leaving only the Danalite at 64% to face the Puddle Strider. Which, with all of its DPS being focused on one target now, I don't imagine it will take too long for the Puddle Strider to finish it off. But we shall see. We shall see. There's almost no way that Task Force Danalite is coming back from this. It would literally have to kill the Puddle Strider, and its turrets are dead. Like, even if this ended up lasting well, there's only a little over 2 minutes left in regulation, but even if it went that distance, it would have to kill the Puddle Strider because 50% of its hit points are gone, and at 54% you despawn. So that would be the only way for it to win, would be a knockout punch, but it doesn't have anything left in it. It is now 54% too damaged, and it is going to despawn any moment. And there it is. Task Force Danalite is despawning. The Puddle Strider has emerged victorious in round 1 of this battle. We'll get it restarted here. And see if round 2 goes any differently. Got Task Force Danalite. Pause. It's amazing how much quicker and smoothly all of this goes when I do it right. It's like screwing it up adds so much more work for myself. But right, anyway. Puddle Strider, there we go. Alright, let's get back here. Let's reset the timer. And round 2 underway. See if this goes the same or if the Puddle Strider will pull off the victory here as well. See, the missiles going in on that. It seems the missiles from the Task Force Danalite are mostly getting distracted by the flares. A few of them are reacquiring the Puddle Strider as they go, but they do not seem to have been... Well, maybe they did. Yep, they did catch it. They did knock off a few of the thrusters, which will slow it down and make those cramshells more likely to hit. It's still going to be quite difficult, though. And it will not take long for the Puddle Strider's repair capabilities to fix that. Yeah, see, those cramshells still missed. And one of those engines has already been repaired. That missile strike, this time it looks like the Puddle Strider is focusing rather heavily on one craft. With a little bit of some of the missiles are still splitting off. But they are still in it at this point. They are not down, but they are still having very heavy issues with hitting the Puddle Strider with any significant amount of damage. Those cramshells look like they might connect. They're looking fairly good. Overshot. Oh, just barely overshot. Just barely. That was really close. With those, where those were positioned, that could have been really bad for the Puddle Strider too. That could have knocked out both of its guns if they had landed that shot. But as it stands, the Puddle Strider is still managing to hold on, managing to evade the shots and absorb what damage it does take relatively easily while putting out the pain. Not that its engine stalled there for a moment. I wonder what that was about. Maybe it was just the graphics cutting out for degraded mode or something briefly. So, damage report, Puddle Strider 100%, Danalite 96%, Danalite 92%. That cramshell was not all that close. This one fairly close, isn't going to hit. No, just barely overshot again. Oh, man, those are getting really close. If those do manage to hit, if they manage to get a solid connection and not those kind of just barely glancing blows that they got in the last match, they can do some significant damage. The Puddle Strider is a rather resilient ship, though. In my testing, I found that it was hard to actually kill. Disabling it, depending on the weaponry, not necessarily the most difficult, but actually killing it, knocking it out of the air and destroying it is not the easiest thing. But it is still peppering away. I think most of those Sabo rounds are just bouncing off the shields for now. The heat rounds are impacting against the shields and detonating, spraying those streams of copper inside and wrecking internal components. Once again, it is very evenly whittling down Task Force Danalite craft. It's kind of funny when the missiles get detonated right next to the shields and those frags just go everywhere. It looks like it's rather impressive, but it's not actually doing anything. Let's take a damage report. Danalite 90%, Danalite 87%, Puddle Strider 100%. We have just under 6 minutes left in regulation, and the Puddle Strider looks like it has done enough damage at this point to claim victory if things continue as they are. But we shall see. You never know. It only takes one of those cramshells just getting fired in just the right time, at just the right angle, doing some significant damage and completely changing the battle. But it does not look like the cram cannons on the Danalite here are active anymore. They seem to have been disabled. They've either been damaged or lost their AI. The crams over here on the Danalite, however, seem to be functioning just fine still. Though it is low on AIs. It only has one AI left. Oh, and that anti-missile cannon there got clipped by a random ricochet. That is the one downside of using deflect shields. You can't really control where they go, and sometimes those shells will just randomly find their way through your shields with lucky bounces. Almost have a collision here, but not quite, not quite. Puddle Strider still at 100%, Danalite heavily damaged at 77%, Danalite doing a little bit better at 86%, but it seems like they have once again had their weapon systems disabled. This is the Danalite, has lost one of its cram turrets completely, and the other one isn't even trying to aim. It may be a range thing, its AI may be damaged. But the Puddle Strider is definitely well within range. It's doing its thing, it circles around, keeps itself in an almost constant turn to make itself difficult to hit, and just launches those missile volleys and cannon barrages. Oh, of course, I look away from this craft and it takes a big hit and has dropped down to 72%. Not sure what happened. Probably hit an ammo rack somewhere in here, caused a major explosion. Yeah, this thing has been pretty much gutted. There's not much left of the internals. But the outside looks fine. Like, it has some holes in it, but it's not too bad. That's those heat shells at work. Plus the frags from the warheads. Because I do have those on very narrow cones. 1-degree cones, so they put all those frags basically into one spot. And they don't spread out very much. I will give credit to Task Force Danalite, though. They are... the Danalite is despawning. It is AI dead. Task Force Danalite, they are very durable ships in the hit point department. It takes a lot of hits, a lot of damage to actually bring them down and kill them, much like the Puddle Strider. But they don't seem to be able to handle the EMP, much like the Ironsides wasn't able to. Like, their weapon systems are getting disabled by the combined efforts of the frags, EMP, and heat rounds coming in. I seem to have found a pretty powerful combination of those shells and missiles and such. So yeah, it looks like this is going to be another victory for the Puddle Strider, and basically the exact same amount of time. We've got just over 2 minutes left, with one of the ships of the Task Force Danalite, the Danalite, still alive, but completely disabled and unable to fight back. At this point, it's just a matter of getting its hit points down to the point where it despawns or killing off its AI. It's down to 59%. Another missile volley or two should probably do it, unless a heat shell manages to snipe the AI. Without an aim point selection, though, that's likely to happen. The Sabo rounds are also doing their thing. Though the Sabo round, I almost feel like I should have gone with just both cannons firing heat and said screw it to the Sabo. But I don't like putting all my eggs in one basket. Oh, and there we go. It is destroyed and will despawn any moment, giving the Puddle Strider the second victory in this battle, earning it 6 points, while Task Force Danalite will earn 2. So, congratulations to myself here. Of course I remember it for myself, right? I'll try and get better on that. You know, this is my first time ever doing anything like this. First time doing YouTube, really. I've uploaded a few things here and there, just for funsies. This is my first time doing anything that's even relatively serious. So, you know, bear with me while I learn and get used to this stuff. But, yeah, so, that's 2 points for Task Force Danalite, 6 points for the Puddle Strider. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.